Okay, click the links to support the channel. Megan Fox will relate to Vader 6 and Disney in a second. Ivan Ortega has a BitChute channel. I guess he's got a YouTube channel also. He does movie reviews, that kind of stuff. But if you go to BitChute and you search Star Wars, or I'll just include the link. He does a re-edit of the Disney Star Wars, and that kind of stuff's allowed on BitChute, but definitely not on YouTube, so check it out. Star Wars sucks balls now because Disney is run by commies, and I should probably switch the thumbnails, but don't for a minute forget that Megan Fox's titties are just spectacular. She's got a bunch of nudes out there too. I guess she's very, I don't know, comfortable running around naked. And I myself never used to care about Canon films. To me were just fun popcorn type stuff, so I didn't sweat the details too much. I had a problem with logical or scientific errors, stuff that was just egregious, but that was it. I didn't like the Star Wars Disney because everything combined, everything added up. You had logical errors, you had canon violations, and then you had combine that with just atrocious characters and Disney and our diversity and feminism, and it just all adds up to make this mesh of there's too many hits. You can depart, you can violate the willing suspension of disbelief and kind of push the boundaries of canon and like the history of the film's vision a little bit, but you can't just keep doing these things, these hits over and over and over again about things that just don't make sense because they slowly add up and you're like, wait a minute, I'm an hour into this film, this isn't Star Wars, this is something else, and it's crap, it's just absolute garbage. Stuff like the Lightspeed trick, that even I know kids defend that, they try to defend it, it's like you just can't defend that if you've seen the earlier 6 films. It doesn't make any sense. You would, like, why didn't you just send a robot, a droid, or a smaller ship controlled by a remote control? That's canon violation and scientific violation. Mass times velocity squared, and speed of light is like 300,000 kilometers per second. So you square that, you times that by mass in kilograms, and you get an amazing release of energy. You could fire like something the size of a refrigerator at the speed of light, and it would probably destroy the moon. So you don't need a starship would blow up a planet. So it's like, yeah, that and the canon of why didn't you just have a friggin' droid do it? They're not people. You can't anthropomorphize them, and then you can't have sex with them unless they're pleasure models. So it says a lot about them, and that nobody spoke up, or maybe they didn't feel comfortable speaking up, or maybe somebody did speak up, and that fat-headed, fetal alcohol syndrome baby Rian Johnson just didn't care. He just did his little laugh. Him and that guy who did Ghostbusters, they have this, Feige, they have the creepiest laugh. Mike Miller, too. Mike Miller. I like Mike Miller a lot, but he's got a laugh, and you hear that laugh, and you think, this guy is evil. This guy is evil. He would cannibalize you, and he would cannibalize you in an emergency, like you crash on a mountaintop, and like he'd be 30 pounds overweight and be like, I got hungry, I cannibalized them. Mike, you're 30 pounds overweight. Oh, well, some people had to make some sacrifices. The children, Mike, you cannibalized the children. Actually, my buddy bought me these. He bought the first 5 or 6 issues, and I guess he bought doubles. He's like, I got doubles for you. You can sell them, or they're worth like, I don't know what they're worth, 30 bucks or something. I was like, I don't really want them. I guess I could give them away or something to viewers. I think the first one, he's got doubles of the first one. I guess it's worth him a couple of bucks more than you pay for it. It's like, yeah, but the subsequent issues are not worth the money you paid for it. So if you add up your total cost, it's like you spend $100 and you have something worth $190. It's like, and then you look at the storyline and you realize the storyline is just absolute garbage. So I feel bad for the naive fanboys, these guys you see on YouTube. They have these comic channels because they don't understand Disney. This isn't Walt's Disney. It's globalist Disney. Fans are scratching their heads trying to understand, why would Disney make crap like Star Wars? Don't they love money? Yeah, but they love subversion and propaganda more. The people who run Disney now are like ticks and leeches on Mickey Mouse. They will suck it dry while infecting it with Marxist propaganda. Disney is nothing more than a vehicle to them to spread their diseased ideas. When they finally killed it, they'll move on to a new host to start the process all over again. As you boys said, they do it in everything. They capture keynotes, pivot points, areas where they can exert the most influence, force multipliers, places where they can control and censor the flow of information. They are terrified by free expression. That's why they create terms like man babies, incels, and toxic fans. They absolutely cannot handle criticism that shatters their worldview because their beliefs are based on feelings, not logic, and their beliefs are dog shit. They are the kids who don't understand why you can't eat candy every day. They are the Harry Potter participation prize kids. Consume product, tweet about it, maybe take a selfie, and then consume more product. Because Star Wars in Disney is a left-wing darling. It's a left-wing thing. When people criticize it, it becomes a left versus right or kids versus parents issue. The kids might say, oh, we love Disney Star Wars and Rey and Finn and Poe, because their parents rightfully say it's crap because it's absolutely crap. And in 10 years, these kids will understand that. It's like in 80s kids thinking E.T. was as good as Gone with the Wind. When you grow up, you look at most movies and you see just nonstop propaganda. Most films are just a way to sell toys and have fast food tie-ins, which, you know, when we were kids, our parents knew that and they laughed at us for getting so involved in these stupid, stupid films. And, you know, they go, when you get older, you understand. And then when you get older, you understand. You're like, oh, yeah, they're right. There was an 80s film that had a dance scene in the middle of McDonald's. When you see a superhero film and every car is like a new Audi or every car is like a new GM, it's like, well, whoever paid to have that product placement. And it's like, you can't do that and have a real movie. It's just become nothing more than just a vehicle to sell to China. Go watch Ghostbusters 2016. You'll notice all the product placement. Any name brand product you see in a movie, it's like, well, they paid to get there. They would put the Sony insignia on a car if they could. The issue of Canon is important, thanks dog, because it relates to the dumbing down of the consumer, or in some cases, the apathy of consumer for the product, because the product now is dog garbage, and there's a lot of competition for eyeballs, including YouTube. It's like every minute you're on YouTube is every minute you're not on some mainstream website or consuming some mainstream product. That's why they probably like Google bought YouTube and why they're trying to shut it down. The goal of the product is always going to be to make money, or it used to be, but they did it with an artistic vision. Nobody is going to watch Disney Star Wars 40 years from now because it has no substance to it. There's no there. It's just explosions and special effects. It's Transformers films that are like made to appeal to a Chinese audience. That's why Megan Fox is so important. Because that scene with her running around the desert with those big jugs just bouncing under that white t-shirt, damn. The only reason you got later films and games and books, thousands of books, is because the original trilogy built something to last and Disney completely effed it up. When they stopped caring about canon, they've turned the product into a pure commercial endeavor meant for slow children. Instead of staying in the universe that Lucas created and, you know, continuing his vision, the parasites at Disney threw it all away for lens flare and horses in space, but with diversity, except in China where Finn was taken off the poster. Which reminds me, there's a hysterical Megyn Kelly clip where she is grilling Mark Cuban on the NBA and China, and she just bends him over and has her way with him. Mark Cuban wants to open up America's borders to the third world, but won't criticize China for its genocide. So Vader 6 tries to fix the Disney Star Wars stuff by ignoring canon and logic. They try to throw out the earlier 6 films so they can put girl power Rey into top dog position, because the original films were focused on Vader, a dude, and something supporting the patriarchy. You had 6 earlier films that said Vader was the chosen one. Even Sidious believed it. But parasites, SJWs, they can't create, they can only destroy. If Star Wars doesn't care about Star Wars, why does the viewer? Just consume more product that tastes like soy-filled Kathleen Kennedy cock. But maybe what's more insidious about having Palpatine try and claim that he's the originator of prophecy and could even create more chosen ones is the fact that it tries to give credence to the abomination that is the rise of Skywalker and Palpatine's survival following the return of the Jedi. those weren't Star Wars movies. I'm not sure what they were. Before the Chinese market opened up, films were a lot better, and films are never going to go well. I mean, now with Wu-Flu, things are, I don't know what films are going to be all about now. I think the Amazon Netflix market and video on demand is going to be I guess that's going to be the next big thing, if people are just too big of pussies to go to a theater. Implies that Palpatine can create more Chosen Ones, and that Rey was somehow part of his plans to create more because she has a vagina. That's it. Remember Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Rey's descent, it just gets into it. And it's just, Rey is not the Chosen One, because George Lucas says the story will become very clear Anakin is the Chosen One. Even when Anakin turns into Darth Vader, he's still the Chosen One, because his son redeems him. And Anakin did bring balance to the Force. Anyway, check out Ivan Ortega's video on BitChute, the Star Wars remix, if you're into Star Wars. It doesn't, he tries to save Star Wars. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I will see ya all next episode.